Nigel Farage. He's helped lead the populist movement. What is the latest from the UK?
Well, remember that in 2013, it was in fact British public opinion that shifted our politicians, that stopped us getting involved in Syria. And don't forget, the object of the government at the time was to arm the rebels. Alex, if we'd done that, we'd have armed ISIS. It would have been mad. Actually, it was British public opinion affecting our politicians that stopped Obama and America from getting involved in this. So I'm a great believer, actually, with all these things. Trust Middle England, trust Middle America. They tend to get it right more than London or Washington, D.C. Now, Mrs. May does appear keen to get involved militarily. All I can tell her is be careful, because public opinion now against intervention is probably even stronger than it was 4 years ago. Let's put it like this. If it wasn't Assad that did it, you can make arguments about the deep state doing it, but equally, don't forget that ISIS themselves a couple of years ago were on record for using chemical weapons no fewer than 52 times. ISIS could quite easily have done this, hoping the world would blame Assad and the Russians, particularly in the wake of the arguments that are still going on about the poisonings that took place in Salisbury, England. So the answer is we don't know.
You're a leading expert on this. Why is the left allied with radical Islam? Why are they trying to flood?
Because they hate Christianity. They can't, they deny absolutely our Judeo-Christian culture, which, if you think about it, actually are the roots completely of our nations and our civilization. They deny that. They also, don't forget, Alex, they want to abolish the nation state. They want to get rid of it. They want to replace it with the globalist project, and the European Union is the prototype for the new world order. Do you know, if Hillary had won that election last year, she was going to sign America up to get really close to this kind of thing. So, we may sit here right now, Alex, and be a bit critical of Trump, but on many other things, he's got things right. And when you send a message, when Angela Merkel sends a message, as many of you as want to come can come, what do you think they're going to do? In fact, the Liberals have become the very fascists that they try and criticize with their rhetoric. And look, what's really happening here? Don't underestimate how massive the seismic shock of 2016 was. The victory of Brexit, the victory of Trump. We're winning. Look at Hungary the other day. We are winning, but it doesn't feel like we're winning because the left and the state are fighting back with all their might. And you know something? If we can resist this politically correct charge, this attempt to stop us thinking and speaking freely, if we can resist that, then our victory actually will be complete. So don't get down, everybody. Don't get depressed. They're behaving like this because we're beating them.
And let's remember, you're the guy when Trump thought 3 months before he was going to lose that came and privately cheered him up and cheered up the troops. And you were the critical catalyst in this, just as you were in Brexit. You're amazing. Thank you for joining us. I know you're very busy. But that's as the EU has said. They'll try to start a wider war to keep the EU. Don't you think that's what part of this attempt to start World War III is about in Syria?
I think the globalists have wanted to have some form of conflict with Russia as an argument for us all to surrender our national sovereignty and give it up to a higher global level. They've wanted it for years, and now they've seen their opportunity, and we must protect.
Thank you so much, Nigel Farage.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Roger Stone, former head of the Trump campaign, is here in town. He'll be in studio in the middle of the next hour. And we have several other big guests I'll tell you about coming up. But I've already mentioned some of the news, but I want to burrow into some of the really big news here because there's just so many angles to all of this. Let me just mention some of this now. Blue wave fizzles as AP declares Republican winner of Arizona special congressional election to be the Republican. We'll get to that. Tucker to GOP says run against openly extremist, racist Dems, not Hillary Clinton. Do I agree with that? I'll get into it in a minute. FEC records suggest Clinton campaign laundered $84 million. Infowars.com, Jamie White, key article to get out. I changed the word suggest to indicate, document, show. Associated Press suggests criticizing journalists is hate speech, want it banned. Paul Joseph Watson article, unbelievable. CNN's Acosta, there's video of this. Trump supporters don't have all their faculties. Goes on to say that Trump's threatening journalists are going to get them hurt, that it's hate speech. And then another article, does the First Amendment protect conspiracy theorists? The article calls me a cockroach from WBUR, lies about what I've said, twists everything, and then calls for my speech to be taken. But only because I'm a conspiracy theorist, because they labeled me that. And Hitler only said take Jews free speech. Meanwhile, Hillary went on F-laced tirade against Trump during 2016 debate prep. And the big news, research, Google search manipulation can swing nearly 80% of undecided voters. That in a new major study by the American Institute for Behavioral Research and Technology. That's basically DARPA. That group's 90% DARPA funded. So DARPA says, wow, Google can swing 80% of people by only showing negative search results. Do an Alex Jones search now. In the last year, and we have some of the internal contracts that Mike Cernovich got, and Google admitted they were real, they were paying, in one contract, millions of dollars for people to just go downvote us everywhere and say they don't like us. To delist us, to drive InfoWars from the top and put nothing but lies. And you go to YouTube, you go anywhere. It's all force-fed. Similarly, you open up Spotify, the #1 music service in the world. It pushes Handmaid's Daughter about Christians oppressing women in a monotheistic system that makes them wear hoods over their heads. That's Islam. Then I go to YouTube. It's the top thing on there. I'm walking down the street last week in Austin. They have a display in a window about it. There's a billboard. The Christians are oppressing women. The Christians, the Muslims are friends. That's just an example of how they give me all this CNN, ABC News, fake news on my iPhone feed that I don't ask for. It's just there. Turn my phone on. Everybody. It's everything at the top of the page is the garbage. It's the force feeding. Trying to drown out the reality. Until they're ready to report, okay, China's arresting Buddhists and killing them, good. And if you criticize the government, you won't be able to buy, sell, or travel. And by the way, it's coming here, so shut your mouths and learn to shut up. And it's already happened. Most of the libertarian conservative bloggers, they've lightened their stances. They've backed off. Oh, please don't demonetize me. And then YouTube doesn't demonetize them. And then the liberals, that suddenly a bunch of them get banned that are independent. And then they stop. And okay, then they're back to being monetized until the next wave of conditioning. And then less and less, but everybody just holds on while there's less and less. Well, I'll be the last person groveling and kissing butt and kissing their feet and doing whatever they say, so I can be on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I'll toe the line so I can keep my podcast going until you just know they're going to do it to everybody. They come to PewDiePie and say, you let us run your life, or we're going to demonetize you and shut you down. And then they start. Or Joe Rogan has me on, #1 podcast in history, double anything he's ever done. They delist him. They don't let him promote it. Bunch of stuff happens. Hey, Joe, you don't have him back on. You don't have on what's #1, the two of us together. That's not how you win. You don't win the heavyweight bout by knocking the guy out. You win by rolling over. You don't win the race car race by actually winning. You're just the anointed ones, and then you get patted on the head, and then everybody plays along with it until there's a social score system in place on every front, and everybody, by successive approximation, sells out a little more, and a little more, and a little more, and a little more, until we have nothing, and we're like communist China with a Skynet system that can predict everything we do, where we go, what we're going to buy before we even know we're going to do it. And that's the goal. Future predictability and future control. Because once you can predict the future, you can steer the stimuli to control the future. I first told you this 20 years ago. 2 years ago, Google declassified out of their own archives their first meeting in 1997, before the formation, with the NSA and the CIA. This is in Wired Magazine 2 years ago. Nico Acosta, the producer, said, have you seen this? Is what you're saying? And I searched it, and they just admitted all this. He said, how'd you know that? And I said, well, I knew some insiders, and they admitted, because when the NSA was going to give Google their database, they said, well, this is just a search engine. That's all that is an NSA database that's public that you interface with voluntarily. And they said, no. We're going to feed everybody's info into it, tie it into the cell towers, people's cameras on their phones, what they buy, what they sell, all the companies, that have a global profile on everybody for social control. We're going to predict the future, then we're going to control the future. We're building AI, but it's a neural, electronic, digital, silicon interface with biological life forms, not just humans, but all life on Earth. And DARPA and In-Q-Tel and the NSA and the CIA shed maximum support. You will be the global control system. Hail Google! And here you are, and Google and Apple and all of them are moving to China. And they're doing it. And everything we warned you about 20 years ago is all admitted. So I'm the bad guy for telling you 20 years ago and having NSA whistleblowers on. Being right's bad. Being number one's bad. Being supported's bad. Being pro-human's bad. Being pro-free market's bad. Not wanting to be under radical Islamic control and having Linda Sarsour run your life. It's all evil. So that's all coming up. China assigns every citizen a social credit score to identify who is and who isn't trustworthy. And our media's like, how good, we need that too. And, oh, don't worry, we told you this was coming. British politicians declare war on knives, want them licensed, because their crime rates now higher than New York City after they took the guns. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we just learned now that The Guardian, that passages from the Bible were plagiarized into the Quran original manuscript. Wow, that really shocks me. That's what it is. It's a mixture of a bunch of stuff that Muhammad was looking at. The Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, Judaism, Christianity, Zoroastrianism, a whole bunch of stuff. That's what the Quran is. If you read all those other books, it's a kind of a hodgepodge of those. So anyways, continuing, but the Bible is it is the Talmud.
Tablet.
It's the Old Testament and then the New Testament. So it's a continuation. But there's so much more I haven't gotten to. Coming up, I'm going to lay it all out. The blue state collapse is accelerating. We'll look at Chicago's nearing collapse. We're also going to drill back through a lot of what I just mentioned. There's so much coming up today. But just briefly, think about InfoWars when you're shopping, when you're getting supplements, when you're getting water filtration, air filtration, high-quality non-GMO heirloom seeds, Patriot apparel so you can meet like-minded people, promote freedom, T-shirts, you name it, ball caps, InfoWarsStore.com. And perishable things you reuse, like coffee and supplements, are great to sign up for auto ship. You get additional 10% off. Patriot points in the month of April are double. So instead of 5 cents off every dollar, it's 10 cents. That's a big discount on your Patriot points this month towards future purchases. And it's, again, a little free account right there with the Patriots point system at InfoWarsStore.com. X2 was going to sell out this week. We got a little emergency shipment in, and I've got the 25% off, though that's still going, but it's got to end here. It's got to end by Sunday because it'll be a few months before we get more in. I'm going to sell out the rest of it at full price. And it's the good halogen. It's amazing. We're having trouble securing with deep earth crystals. It's the purest form of iodine out there. It doesn't give myself and many others the stomach issues that the garbage iodine, that's bound iodine, that's not real atomic iodine causes. So it's in the organic palm oil. It's simply amazing. Consult your physician before you use it, though, because you'll die without iodine. But at the same time, this is very, very potent, powerful stuff. So be careful with it, and I would use a third of the dose. Tell you what I personally do when I first started using it, because you have a detox happens in 2 to 4 weeks, and it's very interesting what comes out of your skin, everything else, when you finally have the good halogen that your body operates off of. InfoWarsLive.com to secure your extra today. Hour number 2 straight ahead. Please tell folks what the station you're listening to. InfoWars is celebrating the amazing gains we've all made against the globalists and how we have given tyranny a bloody nose, and now freedom is back on the march. That's why we're celebrating Patriots Day this April throughout the month with double Patriot points at InfoWarsStore.com. No longer 5%, but now 10% at InfoWarsStore.com. Introducing Icarin, a 30-day liver and kidney cleanse exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. We have set out with top researchers and developers to bring you the strongest, purest, most potent, documented system for your liver and your kidneys. There are 2 different formula blends in one powerful capsule. It also funds the InfoWar, a total 360 win. Icarin, available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
This is Roger Stone for InfoWars. The left has launched lawfare against Alex Jones, filing a bunch of bogus lawsuits against him that are designed to close InfoWars down. We need your emergency contribution today. Go to the InfoWars store and click on the donate button. We need your help.
Every morning before I start writing or shooting a video, I take 2 capsules of Brain Force for a sustainable burst of energy. This is, without question, the most powerful nootropic I've ever taken, and it comes without any of the crashes or the jitters associated with energy drinks. It's additive-free, nothing artificial. It's Brain Force Plus. Read thousands of 5-star independent reviews right now and get your Brain Force Plus at InfoWarsLife.com.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
InfoWars.com.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
All right, when we kick the next segment off here in about 6 minutes, I'm going to really drill into the amazing admissions by the Democrats, the EU, Hollywood, academia around the world, in so-called liberal institutions. The call to silence Americana, the call to silence populism, the call to silence bold free market defense and the right of self-defense and just everything that's rugged individualism. The attack on independent humanity. Because it is absolutely happening right now, and I just feel like we should really raise the alarm here because this is so simple, but at the same time so complex that we need to lay out just how they're going to do this because we have their plan. We've been living the plan for so long. We know they follow the plan. And that's what's so frustrating is we know how to beat it. We know it's authoritarian. We know it's really bad news. But there's so many yes men and so many people that are just soulless and lazy and stupid. And they'll tell you they're super unhappy no matter how much money they've got, and all they do is just try to have a good time all the time. And that's not what built civilization. And I think those of us that are informed are weirdos. And don't worry, I have a good time too. I'm having a good time right now. This is serious business.
Yeah.
And it ties into governmental
Mama.
pedophilia and all of it's coming out and how they try to spin it and divert it.
Hey, you
and use investigations into it that aren't 100%, but then say none of it's going on when it's like saying the sky isn't blue. It's incredible. Then I saw this video last weekend. I never got to it. I want to play it now. Jordan Peterson, who's just a rock star, for saying there's only 2 sexes and 2 genomes. There's 1 genome, two sexes. And the left is avant-garde now if it has someone on saying the sky's blue. And it just shows how far down the rat hole we are of dehumanization. How do you end humanity? How do you end the family? You say, don't say mother or father. You say, you saying your male or female hurt someone else. This is going on. And he says it's a disastrous narrative of victimization. That's what it is. And the women are being inducted into Me Too. They're trying to keep blacks who've never been more upwardly mobile. Blacks in the U.S. are the richest blacks in the world by far. They think they're in literal hell. And you know what? If you've got a bad attitude, it's like going to a party. And if you act weird and creepy and don't act outgoing and make people feel nervous, they're not going to like you. But if I want to, I'm not saying I'm Mr. Cool. I can go to any party, anywhere I want, tell jokes, have a good time, and make friends. So I don't care if you're a white person, Hispanic, black, what it is. If you've got a chip on your shoulder and you're nervous, you're not going to make friends. And so they are invoking all this onto our backs. So also, coming up, one of these clips, Gordon Peterson, if Trump gets booted out of office, what will happen to his supporters? Well, they're going to be censored. They're going to be targeted. People have to understand, this isn't going to be like past elections. The globalists, the Democrats, the big banks, they're going for broke. They admit it's a civil war against us. And they see those of us as the producers as milk cows, or like women for gang-raping Muslim harems. You understand? They have just a savage criminal will to dominate. That's their product. Dominate culture, dominate reproduction, dominate industry, dominate religion, dominate sovereignty, dominate everything. And we say no.
President Donald Trump says the U.S. is negotiating for the release of American hostages in North Korea. President